Welcome to another episode of Brian Sailing. A lot of you have been wondering if I'm okay, because I haven't released a video in a while. Well, the truth is, I died. That's why I'm in white. Went to heaven. Oh wait, I guess I'd be in red if I died. Never mind that. Anyway, no, I'm really okay, but I have been working on the boat, getting a lot of stuff done. Don't want to spoil it, but because it's dark, but all this is gel coated here up on the top deck, and I've been working on the big patch on the side. So more videos will be coming your way. I'm Brian. Join the adventures as I share what I learned restoring a hurricane-damaged catamaran with the dream to sail the world. You know, there's something oddly satisfying about grinding out all the old fiberglass and grinding it away. Because if you get bored doing stuff like this isn't a project for you, because you're going to spend hours and hours and hours just grinding and having itchy fiberglass all over you. But to tell the truth, I kind of enjoy it. I look forward to being done, but for now I enjoy it. Today, unfortunately, my project's getting a little off track. Did I say a little off track? I meant a little track off. I'd say the project's a little off hatch too, but that's just not as funny of a joke. I want to make an update to my last episode where I did the test. So first of all, I want to say I'm an idiot. I'm a boat building fool. So the reason I had trouble with epoxy on that first test of the epoxy is I was mixing it in this cup and I didn't know how to read it. I was reading it wrong and I mixed it the wrong ratio, and I don't know what I was thinking. But I do want to say, this is an important thing. The tests are important. And I'm not testing it to say, oh, don't use polyester, because people fix boats just fine with polyester, right? It all depends on, how strong it needs to be, right? And how big the boat is and everything else like that. But what is important is to test whatever methods you're doing to make sure you do it right. And part of my test was to figure out, hey, don't mix epoxies of the wrong ratio. Don't mix it like I was doing it wrong in the cups. And so once I fixed that, my problems were gone, and epoxy was working good. Not only the extra strong stuff, but also the general purpose epoxy was plenty strong enough. The good news is I didn't use any of the epoxy that was improperly mixed on the boat itself. It was just in the tests. And so by the time the tests were over, I was good and I was mixing it correctly. So no bad epoxy ended up on the boat. But what I'm using here is vinyl ester still. And so I'm using vinyl ester where I'm going to gel coat on the top. One thing that does seem to be pretty consistent is the thicker the material is, or the thicker the resin is, whether it's vinyl ester or epoxy, the stronger it is. And here you see I make a little mistake. I put the peel ply down and then all of a sudden I realized, oh wait, I forgot to put one more piece on top that I had cut out. So back off with the peel ply, put that other piece on, and then the peel ply back on top. Having worked with epoxy a fair amount now and vinyl ester, it's hard to tell. They work quite a bit differently, and you kind of need a different process. With the vinyl ester, especially where it's so hot in Florida here, it kicks really fast. And so I have to break this into smaller pieces, and I just do one little section at a time. Even if I'm doing a bigger piece, I'll just kind of keep a wet edge, and I can do it in 3 or 4 batches as I move along. And after doing epoxy, I kind of miss that, because epoxy, once you set it, it can take quite a while to cure. And so I find I can move quite a bit faster with vinyl ester. Even though it's a pain that it cures so fast, it's also the bonus at the same time. If you know me, you know I'm one of those guys that has to keep up with the Joneses. I have to drive the nicest cars, have the nicest house, definitely have the nicest boat. So when Davey, he down in Luperon, Barefoot Sail and Dive, he had that gel coat peeler, and I said I wasn't going to get one. Well, I had to get one, and not only did I have to get one, I had to get the better model. Peeler 3000, real gel coat peeler, 100% not a fake. Just pulled this thing out of the box. Let's see how it works. What's the worst that could happen? Alright, so what's the verdict on the Gelcoat Peeler 3000, aka the cheapest wood planer I could find on Amazon? I like it, actually. I don't think it's the answer to everything, but it's certainly going to be another arsenal to my collection as I'm doing this stuff. I find I switch tools a lot because I'm like, this one will work perfect for this one will work perfect for this. So I'm switching tools every 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It's good because it doesn't burn them out either, especially when you buy cheap tools. So it turned out pretty good, I think. I don't know that it was much quicker for me, and I'm sure a real Gelcoat pillar would be quicker, but it did a pretty good job. I probably could have done it with the belt sander in about the same time, but I'm also not real comfortable with the planer yet. I'm just kind of learning how to use it for what I want to get it to perform the way I want. So yeah, so for 41 bucks, I'd give it a thumbs up. Here we are at the dash. On the back of the dash, or the side of the dash, it had these for a electrical panel here, and I think a buzzer and a switch. I'm actually going to fill them in because I don't know what panel I'm going to put back in there. And I think I'm going to put some more of my switches actually on the dash, like the newer boats. So I'm just going to fill these in. So the way that I fill these in is I just took some tape and taped across the back of them, and then cut some cardboard that fit. And I wanted some thickness in there so that I can go and patch them from the back. But I needed to overlap. So we just did that. Put a couple layers on. Put the peel ply on, and good to go. Next, it's going to be just sanding this area up here, getting ready for further layers and hopefully some fairing soon. Yesterday I got a layer on this, initial layer, all through here. We'll do that. Now today I just pulled off the peel ply, got it all sanded back, so I'm happy with it. I'm ready to put on the glass. I've got the glass all cut here. My peel ply glass cut, peel ply ready. I'm gonna try to get all this glass on here. It's probably about 3 hours of work. So let's get started. As you might be able to notice, because I'm wearing jeans, the weather is cooled down a little bit. And this was super nice time to work on the fiberglass when it was a little bit cooler. Unfortunately, it's already starting to warm up. And when I say it was about 3 hours of work, part of the problem with that is I try to do as much as I can in one consistent layer so that we have a good chemical bond. And so when I start, I've got to start, and that whole 3 hours it's just mixing from one batch to the next batch to the next batch, just mixing and mixing and mixing, and then laying glass and getting all the air bubbles out. And so it just goes on for quite a while, trying to go that with pretty much no breaks, because once you take a break, the stuff kicks, and then it's hard, to get another layer on top, or it's hard to get it. So that's pretty difficult, and that's why I like to get it all in one shot if I can. But man, I tell you, you got to work like a madman when that starts. Probably be a little bit nicer if I had some help for some of this, but the problem is when I don't know what I'm doing, it's hard to have help, because then when you have help, you got to tell them what to do, and if you don't know what to do yourself, then can you tell someone else to do? So it's also kind of nice. In my job, I have to tell people what to do and answer questions for people all day long. And so it's just nice to have this relaxing time, which this is actually relaxing for me to do stuff like this, to have this relaxing time where I'm just in charge of myself and that's it, and get this done. All right, my friends, this is where we left off last week. I just kind of threw everything on, got the peel ply on, and left. So this has pretty much all its final layers. So I'm excited to pull this peel ply off, see what it looks like underneath. This is going to be nice. So I still have to put a little more glass up here, get this section here and this section here finished off. So a couple layers on that, but then this stuff here is ready to start fairing all the way down to here, here, this, all that. It's all ready to fare. Alright, peel ply is off. Hopefully I can make this look halfway good to start fairing. And one of the things that I do, so I got like, if you look really close here, I got air bubbles, but just on this top layer, and it's just on this edge. And I knew when I put it on, I had some air bubbles on there, and I wasn't too worried about it because on the top layer, it's a sacrificial layer. And I just wanted an extra thickness up here. I didn't need it around the corner. And so what this does is this lets me, when I sand this, I have a sacrificial layer. So I'm okay sanding through on any of this stuff a full layer, and I'll still know that I'll have enough glass there because I put an extra layer of glass, at least one, sometimes 2 extra layers on glass, depends on how it feathers out on this stuff. So I can go through 1 layer of glass if I need to start fairing it. And so I'll sand it to start the initial fair, get some of the feather started, and then I'll fill it. So that's the plan. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up. Or better yet, if you really want to keep me inspired to keep making these, leave me a comment. I've really been appreciating all the great comments that I've gotten on this. I'd like to say thanks to my Patreons too. Next week we'll talk about, or next episode whenever I get to releasing it, we're going to talk about some of the different tools I use and why, plus of course some other really lame jokes and fun working on the boat. Also, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see some of the latest pictures. I kind of keep track of where I'm at. I'm also thinking I'm going to try to open up a Facebook page so that I can post the most recent pictures there. All right, thanks guys, and see you next time.